Nigeria's first full-length 3D animated musical has made its debut in Nigerian cinemas, and the film blends cutting-edge animation with vibrant storytelling and original music. Animation story tells the story of Gami, a spirited Agama lizard who lives the quiet hinterland for the fast-paced music-filled streets of Lagos. Alongside his band of loyal friends, he embarks on an adventure filled with rhythm and struggle and redemption. Joining us on the show to discuss more about this movie is Nduka, Enweliku, producer of the movie Gami and Living Things, alongside Dayo, Clement, animation director from All Trickle Studios. Now, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Of course, I'll start with the obvious question. I mean, who first birthed the idea of this 3D movie? And I mean, why the Agama lizard? I gotta start with you, Nduka.
Okay, so basically, the writer and director of this movie is Ikemi Sekwena. So he's not here today. So he birthed the idea, really, based on a passion for animation and cartoons, really. And that's how the idea came into being. And, talking about the Agama lizard is just a symbol to talk about the struggles, how people move from, maybe Gami moved from the hinterland to Lagos. Yeah. Just the same way you have people moving from other parts of the country to Lagos for the Golden Fleece, basically. So Gami moved from the hinterland to Lagos with his loyal band, his music band, so that at least they can blow. The major thing was to blow. How people want to blow now. So along with the movie, we have, it comes with the movie Gami and the Living Things is accompanied by an album. And that album is a 13-track album. So that's what we're seeing on the screen now. One of them is Ile, we have Nigeria, we have This is Lagos. And it's not just a movie, it's a movement, because it's a Nigerian story. We've seen animation. People see animation, people consume animation on Disney, on Netflix and other places. But it's not Nigerian animation. So this is telling the Nigerian story. Okay. So that's why Gami was brought to life. It took a lot of blood and sweat to get it done.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay, so for you, Dayo, the animation director, so how was it putting together this particular movie? Like, what were your challenges? Because, I mean, 3D is not easy. I can't create anything in 3D. I can't even help myself talk more of creating something. But for you, as the animation director, what was it like putting together this project?
Well, the challenge we faced was more of a skill gap challenge, as well as capacity of... We had talent, but we had disparate artists with their disparate skill levels. Okay. And we tried doing things remotely and all that. And over time, we just saw that it was more of a hassle. Yeah. So what we now decided to do was to build our own team from scratch. So we had them all come in, and then we learned a new platform, a new software that all of us learned together, because every artist uses a different... Oh, you guys had to learn the same... Yes, because every artist uses a different software. So we all learned specific software so that everybody could be on the same page. Level, the same in sync. All that. Yeah. Okay, so how long did it take to build that team and for you guys to bond and have that synergy to even use the same software? Because it was it was a learning process for us. It took us longer than we expected. However, within a year and a half, the team was ready, and we had started making the mistakes and learning from the mistakes to the point where we had a well-oiled machine running.
Oh, a year and a half. So to you, Nduka, how long did it now take to put together the whole film? Like, if you guys are going to learn animation for a year and a half, then the whole project, how long did it take to make?
No, we didn't learn animation for a year. We didn't learn animation for a year and a half.
No, I mean, you said to...
No, building a team.
Same platform. And then building the team of in-house people that all work together. Because what we have in Nigeria generally is not standardized. What we have are animators... What we have are animators in different silos working on their own projects. So to get all of them together and say, come, let's work on this thing together, was actually the major challenge. Once we had them together and we all are on the same page on what platform to use, the principles of animation are the same no matter the software. Okay. You understand? So that was the main thing, just getting everybody together and then sharing the vision.
Okay, back to you, Nduka. So putting together the project, the names that you use, Rika Sani and a host of other musicians, what was it like, getting everybody to be on this project? And I mean, what were the challenges to actually get them together in the same room, or even if they're in the same room, at least just to get them on this project Were you the producer?
Well, that's for the album. Rekasana
For the album, sorry.
Yeah, for the animation itself, Gami and the Living Things, we had MI. MI is the lead character. MI is Gami. So we had Joke Silva, Shegwan Arinze, Bimba Akintola. Yeah. We had Bovi, John Dumelo from Ghana. We had Avril from Kenya. We have Remy, we have Deji, we have Eolos, Merijano Gwaja. So getting them together was, I think we had a good voice director. So Shegwan Arinze was the director for that, and we were able to get these people together to be able to voice, because they also wanted to be part of this story. You know, it's a Nigerian story the first time. So a feature-length animation movie is not easy. So we have people doing 5-10 minutes and all of them. That's the easy work. So for us to do this, they all wanted to be part of the story, to be able to tell the Nigerian story. So that was the easy part. Like Dayo talked about, getting the animation. So it was a lot of stop and start, because pioneers in this field, you know, you are going to have a lot of people. And then now, at least now, at this time, we have more animators in Nigeria. And that is what this movie is about. So we're calling on people, for instance, now to come, be part of this movement, because it's not just a movie. It's culture changing, really.
Yeah, actually,
yeah. We want to ensure that people are educated. So part of it also is that we're going to be training more people in animation. Because that's what we also do. Because of this, we started an animation institute to train more animators. Because that was the major problem we had, skill gap. So to close that gap, you have to train more animators to be able to learn and to be able to do their things well. So like Dayo talked about, it took us time to do that, to get that team together. So what we have now is a well-oiled machine at Tuchuku Studios to be able to do more of this. So Gami and the Living Things, so you can see the music. So part of the music is what we used the characters in our animation to also do. Like what we're seeing now on the screen now is part of the music. So that's Ile, Agama dance, that's Goya Meno. Yeah. So we did that. If you check the Nigerian, the one is Nigeria, this is Lagos. So, and the songs also are they tell the Nigerian story. Exactly, so we have to tell our stories. We're tired of consuming. Every child wakes up, talks about CBBS and other things from outside this part of the world. And parents are leaving their children to consume what they can't even trust. So Gami and the Living Things is family entertainment strictly. So you can leave your child, it's for the adults, it's for the family. Then part of it also is, why we say it's a musical, is that we had the remake of a lot of music.
A lot of music just to suit the movie.
Send Down the Rain, for instance, Majek Fashek had to do that. Rat Race. So an adult, for instance, that grew up in the 80s and the 90s can relate. Because you see the remake of these songs, really. And this is just world class. This is global standard. So,
okay, so tell me more about the institute, like you talked about, for animators. I mean, like, for someone that's listening to you right now that is interested, how can they be part of that particular institute? Then also, back to the movie, for you, Nduka, what was the budget like for you to put this together?
Well, you know, that's the big thing. You know, that's why sometimes you say doing the hard work, really. Sometimes it's always easy, you know. That's why we did this is also to show Nigerians, the young people, that the shortcut is not always the best. Because the shortcut would have been for us to do a normal Nollywood movie, which is far easier. In 3 to 6 months, we can turn that out. This took us years to make, for instance. So hundreds of thousands of dollars, basically. Wow. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. We have to get equipment, get a lot of things.
When you say hundreds of thousands of dollars, is it like between $500,000, like $900,000, or $1 million? Don't laugh.
So the truth of it is this, you know, I'm going to call. The truth of this is, you know, hundreds of thousands, basically. Yeah. And because from equipment to everything, because you don't even have, even to render. To render you don't have that in Nigeria. So you have to create that pipeline for yourself. You understand? You have to do, sometimes you do some work and you get to a point saying, no, this, we have to just take out this and start again. So you know what that will cost you. So we did that, and power, a lot of things. It's just, no. So
because I'm asking, like, you know, you talked about people doing short-length animations, which I can understand if they can't afford to do full-length project. Now, you doing a full-length project means you put a lot of resources. Of course. Like, how many Nigerian filmmakers can even afford that? That's why that's actually bringing it to light.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why we ensure that, okay, this goes to the cinemas in Nigeria. Let us see the possibility so that at least you create the pathway for everyone. Like I tell animators when we meet every time in the industry, it's for us to collaborate, to be able to say, okay, what can happen? Because the essence of this also is to make Nigeria, animation is $1 billion industry.
It is.
Animation, for instance, now, as at last year, over $400 billion. So for us to make Nigeria part of that global industry, because now you have maybe the disease of the world, most of the animation you see is not produced in the US. They are outsourced to India, to Vietnam, to China, and those places. So it is now for us to bring out movies like this. As we've done this, I believe that others will also come and will also collaborate to do more. Then Nigeria becomes an outsourcing post for animation. And from there, we can also export our talent and get in forex into this country. So that's the essence of all this. Then people can now be interested in animation and say, okay, we can do it from here. It's not everything that we have to take abroad. You see the way our music came. Yeah. Nigerian music. I know in the 80s and the 90s, we didn't listen to Nigerian music. Now Nigerian music is ruling the world.
Yeah, even the early 2000s.
Yes. So now Nollywood also. So now animation, we're getting to that place. And we are sure we're going to dominate. And Nigeria is going to dominate. And Nigeria is going to be at the forefront.
Okay, because I'll ask you both questions. Okay, first I'll ask you this. Okay, so now that you're saying you're trying to, start something new, teach and bring a culture to our movie industry. Now, for the cinema, the cinemas, are you hoping to make money off, cinema, ticket sales and all that? And for you, the animation school, you're part of it, I guess, right?
Yes.
So tell us more about people getting involved. How can they be involved in animation school? So I'll start with you before I come back to Nduka.
Okay. So as Nduka said earlier, it's in a bid to build capacity.
Okay.
Because if you want to tell people that you can produce your animations here, they might need 300 animators.
Okay.
You can't tell them you have 20 animators to do their work. It's not reasonable, you understand? Okay. So that's what I mean when I said it's not standardized here yet. So the point is to bring people, especially while they are still young.
Okay.
You understand? So we've done some pilot programs with secondary schools. So kids come for their summer break. Okay. And they learn animation, 2D and 3D. You understand? So we are trying to expand that into a proper full school where people come and they get certified as proper animators, and then they can now filter them to different animation studios in Nigeria. So when someone comes and says they want to produce an animated movie or a series, we know, okay, this studio has 50 animators, this studio has 20 animators. This would be a good idea for them to bring them together. So now you have 70 animators that are properly trained that can get this work out. You understand?
How many animators were on this project?
At the height of it, we had about 15 animators at the height of it, and then it came down to 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's also part of what made the thing take time, because the truth is we didn't have that many animators.
Okay, so back to you, Nduka. Now, topping the box office, are you hoping to do that with this movie? And you know how some movies make up to $1 billion at the box office in Nigeria and even globally. So what do you hope to get, from this movie? It's already in the cinemas, right?
Yes, yes.
So are you hoping to make money off it, or are you hoping to just change your culture and teach people with it?
No, without a doubt. The movie came out on Friday. And that's why we're here, to let people know that the movie is out, and to let them know that, okay, being part of this movie, going to watch Gamma and the Living Things is not just watching a movie, it's just supporting the Nigerian movement. It's a movement, supporting the culture, cultural change, education for your children, because it's history, environment, everything you can think of is involved in Gamma and the Living Things. It's not just a movie that is just meaningless or pushing an agenda. It pushes no agenda, it pushes the Nigerian agenda. So whether a community, whether schools, whether philanthropy, so we're getting people that are even deciding, okay, I want to take 100 kids to the cinema, 200 kids, 10,000 kids, and that is what we want to do. Yeah. So it's going to be a movement around Nigeria, because it's in every cinema from Port Harcourt, Kaduna, Lagos, everywhere. So going there is just the Nigerian story. So we have foreign animation. Most of them, I take my children there, and they are just meaningless. But these, from the music to the content to everything about it, is all Nigerian, and it's something that you come out with and you know that these are the lessons I've gotten. So if you see the feedback from the cinemas, everyone is talking about the music, taking them back, the cultural, everything about Nigeria. So it's the Nigerian story. So that's basically what we're talking about. And that's, you see all the Nigerians are. Peter Edochie is also there. Peter Edochie is who? So is it the cast? Is a strong cast, really.
Yeah, actually, it's a strong cast, I must say.
Jokeb,
that's why I asked you about budget, because when you call all these names and the animation, I'm like,
it's a strong cast.
Spend money,
Yeah, basically, and that's why we have to make money also.
Did you have sponsors for this project?
No, self-sponsored, basically.
Self-sponsored?
Self-sponsored.
So you get money, how much are you?
As it be, so that's why we're here to talk to Nigeria. So when you go to the cinemas, you just go there, let's sponsor people, let's get people to the movies. These are the things we should talk about, because the truth is this: we talk about unemployment in Nigeria. Our youth population is so large. They consume animation. Our youth population is so large. We have to engage them in these things. Because what animation does is that after training someone in animation, you can either create or find a job. True, so it's not going to wait for a job. There are freelancers everywhere. A lot of Nigerian animators now are working for studios abroad, Disney's and everybody. So this is a career that people have to get into. So we talk about AI, we talk about IT, but animation is just, and most of the animation we're talking about, we say AI can't take part of these things we're doing because there's... Gamma and the Living Things is the bomb. It's everything that you need to know. It's everything you need to know about the Nigerian story. It's a culture change. It's a movement. Okay. So let's all join that movement. Let's go to the cinemas. Let's watch our kids.
All right, you heard it all. Join the movement, go to cinemas and watch Gami. And is it Gami? It's Gami now.
Gami and the Living Things.
Gami, hey, you can say Gamma. Gami and the Living Things in support.
If you want to blow,
yeah.
Gami wants to blow.
All right. I mean, congrats on the project, and I'm sure it will do well in the cinemas because it's first of its kind. So I'll be following up to see the feedback you get, and I'm sure it should do amazing.